Welcome to the Fiercely Spiritual Podcast. I'm your host, Sandra Ray, and I'm so delighted to have you here. This week's topic is one that I'm really passionate about. And because we're in December, we're approaching a new year, I want to take a look at how you can prepare yourself spiritually for the new year and make that year your best year ever. Because if you go into the new year without preparing, without doing anything, doing the same thing that you've been doing, then the results that you're going to get are going to be the same that you've been getting. So if there's things that you'd like to change, if there's things that you'd like to bring into your life, if you just want to be a little bit happier, a little bit healthier, a little bit wealthier, whatever it is that you want, you need to prepare now. Now, I don't want to say you need to do this. Of course, you have a choice. And if you choose to, you don't have to do anything. But seeing as you're here, I figured that this is something that you want to do. And it's something that I do every year and it pays off. I have to tell you, if you practice this, if you do this every year, you will find it makes such a difference to your life. Because if you just keep on going, doing the same things, acting the same way, thinking the same way, your life is not going to change. You're going to keep getting the same results that you've been getting. You're going to keep seeing the same thing occurring over and over in your life. If you want to bring about change, then you have to change. So, what is the first thing that you need to do? Well, the very first thing is to begin to close energy ties to 2018 that you need to release. So this is a little bit like energetically just cutting and closing off any loose ends that might be remaining. So this could be projects that you started that you never completed. You are just drawing an energetic line under them saying, okay, I'm going to leave that in the past. Now, if it's something that you do want to complete, then that's different. You need to re-energize that project. But if there's stuff that's weighing you down and you're not completing it because maybe you don't want to, or it's just feeling like a burden, maybe it's okay just to let it be. It could be issues in relation to other people. Maybe it's forgiveness that you need to just put out there. Maybe it's that you need to forgive yourself. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to just cut any energy ties that are coming up for release from the year that's passed. It could be from previous years as well. If you've never done this before, it could be lots of stuff that's coming up for release. Now, it's really easy to do, and the way to do it is to call on Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael is going to cut through any negative ties between you and people, situations, events that no longer serve you. So you call on Archangel Michael by stating his name 3 times. So Archangel Michael, Michael, Michael. And then you say what you want. So I ask you to be present, to connect with me now, and to cut and sever all negative ties between me and you state whatever it is that you want to release. So between me and the people that you want to release, so name their names, between me and if you don't know what you need to release, you can just say between me and any people, events and circumstances that I need to release, that I need to let go of. So I usually say it as a general between me and people and events and circumstances that I need to release, because I know that that way the angels, who have a much better perspective on this than I do, will work a way to release anything that maybe I am aware of, but also things that I'm not aware of consciously. So all you need to do, once you state what you want to release, you just sit and you allow Archangel Michael to work away. Now, if you're visual, you might like to visualize ties or cords being cut. Sometimes you can see these as like silver threads going from you to the person. And I like to see Archangel Michael with his sword of light just cutting through these and then releasing really easily. I like to see them as like fine threads, a little bit like a spider's web. Have you ever walked through a spider's web and it's like you just walk through and the web just cuts straight away, and you don't need to make any effort to cut it. Now, if you find that the tie is coming up as something a bit stronger, if it's like a rope or something that's harder to cut through, know that Archangel Michael can cut through anything with his sword. And just be open to releasing. Release your muscles, let go of your body, just let go of tension. And the more you relax, the easier it is for you to release. So once you've done that, once you've cut negative ties or any other ties that need to be released between you and things from the year that's passed, then you can start preparing for the year ahead. You can start on a clean slate because you've let go of all that stuff. So this is where you start aligning with the timeline for the coming year. And this is going to be the timeline that will be the highest expression of your life. So what does that mean? So the highest expression is the best version of your life, the version where you're the happiest, where you're the healthiest, where you're the strongest, where you're the most kind and compassionate, where you're the richest version of you. And you're aligning with the version that is most available to you, if that makes sense. So it could be that, well, there's infinite levels of happiness and all the things that you desire, but maybe the version that you're able to align with at the moment is here, and the version that you may be able to align with in a few years' time is up at a higher level. So if you can bear with me for a second, I'm going to talk about quantum realities. So if you can imagine the timeline that you're traveling along, it's like a train traveling on a train track. It's a straight train track. The train is chugging along. You're the train on the track. You're gaining momentum. And the likelihood is that you're going to continue along the same track because you have that momentum. You'll keep going as you're going. And parallel to you, there's all these other train tracks. There's all these other tracks running parallel to you. Now, you have the option to switch tracks at any time. So the track that you're on, if it's something that there's something undesired on that track, say your health isn't as good as you would like it to be, maybe the track next to you is the version of your life where you have perfect health. Maybe that track is 3 tracks over or 5 tracks over. Maybe it takes a few jumps to get to that version of perfect health. Maybe it's beside you, maybe it's a few tracks over. So the way to change tracks is, if you've ever seen a train when it's running along and then it comes to a crossing where the track just glides slightly to the left or to the right, and it connects with the other track and the train glides onto it. Now, we are doing this all the time from moment to moment. You're going along the track, and if you have a thought, or do you ever have a day where you just have a bad day and it's just like everything is going wrong for you, everything just seems to not go your way, and you just write it off as a bad day? Now, that's a perfect example of when you've switched tracks. You have gone onto the track of the things going wrong, of heaviness, of lower energy. So if you can imagine the tracks as having a vibration, an energy vibration, and the higher the vibration, the more you move towards the state of oneness, happiness, joy, peace, love. The lower the vibration, the more you move away from those states of happiness, joy, peace, and love. So as you are going along your track, the momentum's carrying you forward. You switch tracks all the time when you have different thoughts, especially if you stay with a certain thought for long enough. Now, that bad day is when you switch tracks onto a lower vibration track and you just thought you were having a bad day. Now, the good news is at night when we go to sleep, we reset. So if you start off in the morning thinking the same thoughts as the day before, thinking the same worries as the day before, then you stay on that same track, and that bad day becomes a bad week, and then it turns into a bad month, and then it just turns into a life where you're constantly dissatisfied. So you have to use that time in the morning when you first wake up to decide which track you're going to be on. Now, if you start your morning feeling gratitude, feeling higher states, elevated emotions, then you're more likely to switch up to the higher vibration tracks. Now, this is something that I go into in a lot more detail with my students, in particular with the members of my Fiercely Spiritual family, about starting your day off and the things to do to help you to keep the momentum of those high vibes going. And it is really, really important, because that's, as I said, a good day then can turn into a good week. A good week can turn into a good month, and then that momentum keeps going and you can keep on that. Now, it's not to say you'll never have any challenges, but you will breeze through them if you don't allow yourself to start going onto the other tracks. So, and knowing that you can switch or jump tracks at any time, you have the choice. You take back your power, because it's up to you to decide which track that you're going to be on. So what I want you to do is a little practice just to begin to get a glimpse of what 2019 could be like for you. So I call it expanded possibilities, and you can do this now. If you're listening to this while you're driving, maybe leave it till later. You want to be able to close your eyes to do this. So sit for a moment and close your eyes, take a few deep breaths in and out, and just relaxing your body. So see yourself standing within a circle, and just take note of where this circle is around you, how far away from you this circle is. So it could be right around you, it could be a foot away from you, or it could be a few meters away from you, or it could be more. Just taking note of where this circle is and how big this circle is. So this circle represents the boundaries that you have placed around yourself. So the closer the circle is to you, the tighter your boundaries and the less you are allowing yourself to experience the fullness of life. So what I want you to do is, just wherever the circle is at, just accepting it where it is, and then imagine the circle beginning to expand. See it expanding outwards, and see it growing bigger and bigger and bigger. So this is where your boundaries that you've set for yourself start expanding. You start opening up to the new. You start releasing all the things that might have held you back. And you start expanding the possibilities of your life. So allow the circle to keep expanding until you can't see it. So there's no circle around you anymore. Just opportunity, possibility, limitlessness, unboundedness. So as you do this, just view the space around you and tune into what's available to you. So just tune into any things that maybe were held outside of you when that circle, when that boundary was around you, that suddenly now can come pouring into your life. So you may have a visual of something that's coming into your life. You may have a word or an idea. You may just get a sense of knowingness. So just tuning into what's available to you now that you've expanded the possibility, you've taken away those boundaries and you've expanded your horizons. What's now available to you that previously you weren't allowing into your life? So spend another moment just aligning with and recognizing all those things that want to come into your life. What you are seeking, those things are seeking you. And just allowing these things to pour in. And then giving gratitude, giving thanks for all of the things that you are receiving, taking a deep breath in and out, and relaxing and letting go, and knowing that these things will come in perfect divine timing. Okay, so you can open your eyes, and this exercise is really powerful. It's something that you can do on a daily basis if you want, if not on a weekly basis or monthly at the very least, just to align yourself with those things that are trying to come into your life that you've been blocking off. Most of us don't realize that it's us who block the things coming to us. And once we open up to them, it leaves room for them to flood into our life. So when you do that, it's a really powerful way to open up to what's coming and to set your, to get rid of your boundaries so that you're not setting yourself within this circle of possibility or what might be possible, and just expanding those possibilities into something new, something different, something unthought of, and just allowing yourself to align with it. So what I wanted to share with you as well is another exercise that you can do. You can go a little bit deeper into what you want to align with for 2019, what you want to achieve in 2019. And it's an exercise that I do all the time. I do it at the end of every year, but sometimes I do it quarterly or every 6 months. And it is an exercise. I actually just did this last night live with the members of my group, the Fiercely Spiritual Family. And it is so, so powerful. It's a really simple exercise, but it is so powerful, and it would really set you up for an amazing year. So I've prepared a PDF with the instructions on what to do, how to apply it, and it's really simple. It'll take you maybe 30 minutes, but it'll be the best 30 minutes that you spent throughout the year. And it's available to download, so you can get it. The link is below this podcast. It's sandraray.com/2019. You can go directly there, or you can click on the link below this podcast. And before we go, if you would like some extra support in making 2019 your best year ever, I would love to invite you to join the members group, the Fiercely Spiritual Family. We're currently closed, but we will be reopening the doors for new members soon. And if it's something that you feel you would like to get that extra support, you would like to go through more practices like this, where you can begin to open up more and more to the life that you deserve, then I would love to be your guide. And I would love for you to connect with the other members in there who are just astounding. I started this group in August, and I'm just blown away every day by the feedback, by the positive results the members are achieving, and the amazing things that they are doing. I don't even have time to go through everything with you here, but when you join, you'll be able to connect with those people, and they'll support you on your journey as well. So to join the waitlist for the Fiercely Spiritual Family, to find out when it reopens, you go to sandraray.com/waitlist. And again, I'll put a link to this below the show notes so that you can click on it directly. Thank you again so much for being here. Thank you for joining me. And I hope you've enjoyed this exercise today, and do go and download the PDF, because you'll get a lot more from that as well. Thanks once again, and I will see you in the next episode.